KVRT13. This is Zone 47 Broadcast Control. With MARV, Void MART Customer Engagement Liaison number 47. October, Weather and Weekly Warnings. And Smiley, Regulatory Compliance. This is KVRT13 News. Now MARV.
I am told this is a brand new week of news. Then I opened the dispatch and saw 3 reruns in a trench coat. Welcome back to KVRT13, Zone 47, network where we recycle less than Blizzard's news page. Let's begin. Turbulent Timeways again. The Bronze Dragonflight has once again discovered growing disturbances in the Timeways, which is corporate 4. We needed 10 weeks of content that doesn't require a new art budget. Turbulent Timeways is now live from December 2nd to February 9th. 10 weeks, every expansion. Same deal as the last time they discovered this anomaly. You run old dungeons, your gear scales, the mobs scale. Your patience does not. You get Knowledge of the Timeways, a stacking XP buff that eventually becomes Mastery of the Timeways, 30% bonus experience account-wide. Translation: we know you're only here to level alts while pretending you'll ever finish Shadowlands. You keep that buff up for 5 weeks, you get LIAISON's mount voucher, and you can pick one of 4 Shadowlands mounts: Bronze Wilderling, Bronze Corpsefly, Bronze Gravewing, Bronze Aquilon. The other 3? You can buy them with time-warped badges, assuming you haven't already spent those on older time-walking vendors, older FOMO mounts, and the last 12 limited time shop events. And in the comments, someone said it out loud for all of you. As if there's not enough FOMO crap going on at the moment. They're right. This isn't a celebration of Warcraft's history. It's a treadmill with better lighting. Run dungeons, chase numbers, watch the clock. The Timeways aren't what's turbulent. Your schedule is... The warning, still. Live next up. Midnight. Prologue. The warning is now live. Or rather, it was live weeks ago, and now it's live again, just with the word NOW stapled onto the headline. Here's the short version. Barisa Windrunner is having visions of Quel'Thalas burning down. You click Visions of a Shadowed Sun in your adventure guide. The story points a big neon arrow at midnight, housing, and your wallet. You also get more war within campaign quests, a lore-walking tour of the Blood Elves and Void, Elves Pandaren Heritage Armor, the Brawlers Guild returning on December 9th, and yet another reminder that all roads now curve gently toward March 2nd, 2026, when Midnight launches and the Void kicks the door in. It's a good prologue, but this article, this is a rerun with a fresh coat of marketing paint. Housing early access. Who gets a key? Now we arrive at the main event. They can't stop relinking. Stake your claim with housing early access. Now live. If you have any edition of Midnight on your account, you can. Join a neighborhood, claim a house. Start decorating with over 600 plus housing items and begin leveling up your home before the expansion even drops. If you don't own Midnight yet, you can. Visit neighborhoods. Collect housing items from quests, achievements, vendors in Orgrimmar, Stormwind, and Dornogal. But you cannot claim a plot, place a house, or officially join a neighborhood. You're a tourist in your own timeline. There are public neighborhoods that anyone can join. Founders Point for Alliance, Razorwind Shores for Horde, and guild neighborhoods that require at least 10 recently active players in your guild. So yes, congratulations. Your guild roster is now a housing key requirement. And somewhere in the comments, a Physical Collector's Edition owner is asking why digital buyers already have access while they're still waiting on their code. If that's true, that's not just bad optics. That's a designer's slap across the face of the exact kind of player who used to line up for steelbook boxes at midnight. And because this is Blizzard, they don't stop at one article. They bundled the whole housing push into a full marketing suite. Housing 101 video, achievement unlocked, decorating your Azeroth home professions, unpacked, and now an entire weekly recap, reselling all of it to you in one place. We'll get to that. First, we need to talk about Fell Green home decor. Legion Remix, Fell IKEA. New this week, Legion Remix housing decor now available. If you ever wanted your living room to look like the Fell Hammer and a torture chamber had a baby, you're in luck. You earn the first copy of each item from Remix achievements. World quests, raids, reputations, Keystone Master, all the old Legion factions, all chained to decor. Then you go to Domelius in Dalaran to buy additional copies, with bronze. Let's review a few highlights. Altar of the Corrupted Flames, 30,000 Bronze Corruption Pit, 30,000 Bronze Fell Fountain, 30,000 Bronze Legion's Hollow Communicator, 30,000 Bronze Freecool, Lord's Throne, 20,000 Bronze Legion Torture Rack, 10,000 Bronze, and then they slip in extras. Small Legion Candle, 2,500 Bronze Vertical Fell Steel Chain, 5,000 Bronze. If you're keeping score at home, the full price of a Fell-flavored living room runs into the hundreds of thousands of bronze. One of you did the math and basically said, "Why is this so spendy?" Because they finally figured out how to turn your Legion nostalgia into housing micro-economy fuel. You're not just grinding for mounts anymore. You're grinding to put a chair in front of your fake fireplace. And yes, in the comments, someone else clocked the pattern. More FOMO. More limited time. More get it now or never. You are now farming a time-limited event to buy decorations for a feature that's gated behind a pre-order for an expansion that doesn't launch until March. They didn't design a game system. They designed an engagement funnel with better curtains. Weekly post, the recap of the recap. Next up, WoW. Weekly, the warning, housing early access, December trading post, and more. This is not a news post. This is a content bundling exercise in a trench coat. Inside this single, weekly, the warning recap, housing early access recap, housing 101, recap, achievement unlocked recap, professions, unpacked recap, Legion remix, housing decor, recap, midnight release date, recap, December trading post recap, Turbulent Timeways recap, Twitch drop, topsy-turvy, Joker's mask recap. It's the same information you've already seen this week, packed into a single scroll so long it should drop a mount at the bottom. The trading post segment parades Jeweled Sapphire Scarab, monthly reward Mount Kalu'ak, Cresthorn, Moose Mount Sky Witch's attire ensemble. All bundled in the same language they used the last 12 times. Brave the chill. Explore a trove of frozen treasures. You've heard this voice before, because they wrote it once, copied it 12 times, and changed the nouns. Then they plug the topsy-turvy Joker's mask Twitch drop. Watch 4 hours of any WoW stream between December 2nd and December 30th. Link yourbattle.net. Wait up to 24 hours. Receive a mask you'll equip once and forget exists. You already know the ritual. Mute a random stream. Walk away. Come back later to collect your costume. Blizzard calls it engagement. You call it leaving a tab open while you make dinner. It's not evil. It's just honest about what it wants. Your idle time, your open client, your sunk cost. Hotfixes, the quiet cleanup. And finally, the part they bury at the end. Hotfixes, December 5th, 2025. A few highlights from the surgical cleanup crew. Dungeons, time walking. Sanguine Depths. General Kahl now actually appears if you sprint her gauntlet too fast. Spires of Ascension. Devos' spear can now be aimed properly. Imagine that. A spear mechanic that works in 2025. Horrific Visions. You can share sanity again to revive downed party members. Synchronized Mind Stabilizer makes the first revive free. They took a system they abandoned years ago, resurrected it for revisited content, and then watched you slam your head into a bug until someone filed enough tickets to get it patched. Housing. Some important quality of life for the new homebound. A Farewell to Arms, now correctly retroactively, rewards 2 decor items. Mother's Titanic Brazier in Zoth's Captured Eye. If you already spent extra resources buying those from Mother, they'll sort it out in a future patch. Maybe? Eventually? Don't hold your breath. Neighborhood stewards Tocho and Lisabel no longer let you rename neighborhoods you're not actually in. Good. You shouldn't be able to walk into a public cul-de-sac and change the sign. Traveling bookshop owners now show up more often. Supply and demand finally acknowledged. Sizzling cinder pollen drops again, even if you already bought the soaring Meterbee mount, and with a significantly higher drop rate. Translation: they realized they overcorrected and are now pretending it was intentional. You can teleport to plot while shapeshifted. Congratulations, druids! You can now emergency warp back to your HOA meeting as a bear. PvP Solo Shuffle. Fixed an issue where dampening was increasing faster than intended. You were dying too quickly, and not in the way the designers wanted. Quests and World Illyria is once again offering Manaforge Omega Dimensius Looms. Dragonflight story. Mode raids can now be accessed properly above level 70. A herd of windsteeds that went missing on the Wandering Isle has been found. No word on whether they were returned to their rightful pasture or quietly reassigned to a mount shop. Portals to Valdrakken in Orgrimmar and Stormwind are now available to new players on the Azure Span campaign. Your travel agent apologizes for the delay. This is the real heartbeat of a live game. Quiet fixes to problems you hit 3 weeks ago, disguised as a tidy little bullet list in the back of the newsletter. So, to recap this supposedly new news cycle, the Timeways are turbulent. Again. The prologue is live. Again. Housing is live, but only fully if you pre-purchased Midnight. Legion Remix now doubles as a Fel-themed furniture catalog with a bronze surcharge. The weekly post is a Matryoshka doll of its own marketing copy. And the hotfix team is mopping up behind all of it, while you argue in the comments about whether housing should be ignorable, mandatory, or optional but profitable. You are not imagining the repetition. You are watching a content pipeline attempt to keep 10 plates spinning on one wobbly stick. I am not here to tell you whether any of this is worth your time. I am here to tell you that they think it is, and they are willing to repost the same article twice to prove it. Now for October, who might still be upset her segment got cut off last week before it even got started.
Thank you, Marv. This is October with your weather schedule and warnings for the week. Across the network tonight, conditions are confused. We should be talking about snow. Instead, we're tracking unseasonably warm air and constant rain soaking every open surface. In Stormwind and the surrounding human territories, expect that same grey curtain of drizzle that never quite becomes a storm and never quite goes away. Streets will shine like mirrors, but you won't see anything new in them. Over Dornagal and the Isle of Dawn, low clouds and scattered showers will keep the stone slick and the air heavy. Visibility will be good, but don't trust it. Things look closer than they are when the air is this warm. Along the coastlines, both in your world and mine, fronts are colliding just offshore. That means warmer wind than December, deserves more rain than the soil asked for, and a lingering sense that something forgot to flip the season over when it had the chance. If you're somewhere that normally gets snow this time of year, the system sees you, notes your disappointment, and sends more rain. You're not imagining it. The sky really is out of tune. Here is your broadcast schedule for the week, as reported by Dead Channel Station Control. Monday, Project Backfeed, Battle Pet old footage, old code, new teeth. We drag another forgotten Battle Pet episode back from the archive and let it bite someone else this time. Tuesday, static no programming. Just snow on the screen and whatever your mind decides to put behind it. Wednesday, Void Mart holiday meal. Plan Corporate says this is a festive resource for efficient holiday hosting. We call it How to Feed Everyone with the least amount of evidence left behind. Thursday, static. If you hear voices under the hum, that's between you and the signal. Friday, Void News. MARV returns with more headlines, corrections, and gentle psychological warfare. Attendance is mandatory, agreement is optional. Saturday, static, another blackout window. Another chance for the station to breathe. Sunday, cooking your battle pet, holiday special seasonal recipes, questionable ethics, and the kind of festive cheer that stains. Sona will be taking your appetite hostage for the duration of the program. Programming is subject to change if the system becomes unstable, but MARV's slot on Friday will not move. It never does. Now your warnings. First, with temperatures this warm and rainfall this constant, expect slick streets, flooded paths, and false confidence. The ground is softer than it looks. So are the people. Slow down. Brakes don't work well on wet stone or wet mines. Second, Void Mart holiday meal. Plan is rated static 13 for a reason. If something in that episode sounds a little too practical, do not ask where the test data came from. Just choose a different side dish. Third, be advised that all desk space is now considered contested territory. One of our senior felines, Mole, has secured a heated pad on the operator's desk and has declared permanent ownership. Operational policy has been updated as follows. Do not attempt to reclaim a warm surface area once a cat has occupied it. Do not move the heating pad just for a second. There is no such thing. Any keyboard, mouse, or notebook located within one tail length of the pad is now classified as optional equipment. If you must work in close proximity to a heated, purring entity, remember, you are allowed to adjust your workflow. You are not allowed to disturb the cat. The station can tolerate minor transmission delays. Mole cannot tolerate being moved. Please plan your productivity and your risk placement accordingly. Finally, with rain in the cables and warmth in the air, some of you may feel tired, restless, strangely homesick for weather you're not getting. That's normal. The body remembers snow even when the forecast doesn't. If the sky refuses to match the month, make your own winter indoors. Blankets, hot drinks, small heated creatures. The station approves. This has been October with your weather, schedule, and warnings. Stay dry, stay kind to your joints in this damp, and if something warm and small claims your desk, let them win. We'll see you Friday, if the rain doesn't short anything important out.